Hello, my name is Andrew, here for Darkshore Capital, and in this video, we're going to be discussing the Shadoweave Mask. So what is the Shadoweave Mask? It's a vanilla tailoring cloth head, so this falls in the old school transmog category of generally things you want to be crafting. It was previously unavailable in the game, however, they added it back in alongside the Lucid Nightmare secrets. I don't even know if you can call it a quest chain. It's just a mount you can get by doing a bunch of ridiculous things, and the Shadoweave Mask is a step along the way. I won't get into the details of exactly what you're doing with it for that quest chain, because that's not what this video is about. Just know that there is an implicit demand for it based on the need to complete and get this mount. The result of this is that it's got a very reliable profit margin. As you can see on the tooltip here, the screenshot was taken from my main Horde server. 532 gold per mask isn't, the most amazing stuff in the world, but, perhaps your server might be different. If you can even see the region market average there is around 4,000, region sale average 3,000. The sale rates, of course, are great because of the need for this mount. And then you also notice that the main source of cost in the crafting cost is the Shadow Silk, and we're going to be discussing a potential way for you to cut down on that later in the video if you so choose. So let's talk about the recipe real quick. It drops from the mob Dark Iron Steamsmith in Searing Gorge. It's got a fairly low drop chance. I've farmed this up on 2 different characters, and it probably took, I'm just guesstimating here, around 30 minutes or so each for those characters. And the respawn rate isn't great. You could probably try and use Realm Hop to try and increase your spawns, but I don't know about you guys, but I've never had success using Realm Hop in any old world zone, just simply because, who's listing groups for these old zones? Anyway, the recipe itself requires 2 bolts of Mage Weave, which are trivial to get. Just get the cloth from the auction house. It's incredibly cheap. You'll probably get some if you're going to do any of these farming methods that I'm suggesting. Anyway, the 8 Shadow Silk, which of course you can get from the auction house, or the spiders in Lower Blackrock Spire is the most effective way to farm them if you want to get the match yourself. And then of course 2 heavy silken thread, which comes from a vendor. So let's briefly talk about the Lower Blackrock Spire Shadow Silk farm. I will go ahead and link a video made by one of my colleagues, Mr. Samadam Plays WoW. He's got a little bit more detail and some better suggestions on the specifics of the farm. But I'll just quickly go over what you need to do. You just got to go to the spider section of Lower Blackrock Spire, kill the spiders, and do a dungeon reset, which, if you don't know, make a group, list the group, leave the group, and it'll teleport you out. And you can figure out the min-maxing on when you should do those timings. There's even macros you can get to do that easily if you really want to min-max this farm. As far as the actual farm itself, I'm not a huge proponent of doing individual farming, but I think this one falls in the category of worthwhile for me to do sometimes, just because it's so simple, so easy. It's in Blackrock Mountain, so I can be convinced to go there to run other old raids very easily as well. Yeah, overall, it's a good thing to know about if you want to, save a bit of gold on the Shadow Silk, which is, of course, the biggest limiting factor. And yeah, other than that, just make yourself some operations to get those things posted up with the rest of your transmog or slower selling items, and watch the profits roll in, because these things do sell quite often. Anyway, that's going to do it for me in this video. If you guys have any questions about the topic or anything else in gold making, feel free to leave a comment below. Reach out to me on Twitter, or you could even send me an email, darkshorecapital@gmail.com. We'll see you next time.